This is Friday edition of News Mongolia. Today is April 22nd. For our top stories, cabinet meeting updates. Mongolia has the renewable energy resources that could meet the needs of Northeast Asia. For other news, stay tuned. The regular cabinet meeting was held on Wednesday and several issues were resolved. The draft law on amending the 2022 budget law of Mongolia was submitted to Parliament for discussion. Amendments to the 2022 budget law of Mongolia, amendments to the 2022 budget law of the Social Insurance Fund, laws on the Future Heritage Fund, 2022 Fiscal Framework Statement of the Unified Budget of Mongolia, 2023 to 2024 budget draft law, and other issues were the main themes of the cabinet discussion. The cabinet members agreed that the global situations will have negative impacts on the Mongolian economy and society, and therefore they concluded that the government should pay special attention to measures that will prevent food shortages and price increases and will protect people's incomes. All possible measures are considered to be included in the framework of a step-by-step solution. Other government decisions include $60 million to develop greenhouses and build a new 20-hectare winter greenhouse facility, $40 million to increase storage capacity by 35,000 tons, and $100 million to develop all protected soils and increase vegetable storage and sales. The Ministry of Food, Agriculture and Light Industry has been instructed to present the funding plan to the National Security Council. Jahlang, Minister of Finance, Acting Minister of the Economy and Development, and the relevant people were instructed to conduct an audit of the financial and other activities of the Tarham metallurgical plant to settle the accumulated debts and to take all necessary measures to ensure the normal and efficient operation of the plant. The working group established by decree of the Prime Minister of Mongolia got acquainted with the activities of Qashon-Sukhat, Shiwehurang, and Tsarandil-Ol ports of Umungab Province and Hank Port of Dornogab Province and updated the cabinet regarding all relevant measures undertaken. There is a need to establish new sources in the energy sector. If necessary measures are not taken, Mongolia runs the risk of one day running out of electricity. In addition to expanding and upgrading power plants, industry experts say that more renewable energy resources should be used. Our country produces about 271 megawatts of solar and wind energy a year, and that supplies about 20% of our energy needs. If new domestic resources can be created, the country will not only be able to fully provide for our country, but it will also be able to export electricity. For example, the commissioning of the 90-megawatt Erdenburg hydropower plant will not only meet the needs of the 5 western provinces, but will also provide power to the central region.
The current energy situation in Mongolia is precarious because our energy supplies are running at maximum capacity. From the winter of 2022, some energy restrictions might have to be introduced. The Ministry of Energy, which is developing the policy, has repeatedly stated this. More renewable energy sources are much needed. Ulaanbaatar uses all the resources because it has a large population. In the future, there's a need to expand our energy supplies to certain provinces.
According to the International Renewable Energy Agency, Mongolia has enough resources to provide Northeast Asia's energy needs. This is because 300 days annually of direct sunlight is a great advantage for our country. If the country can use renewable energy, we can not only meet our domestic electricity needs, but also export it to bordering countries. For example, China has expressed interest in purchasing electricity from Mongolia's renewable energy sources due to rising electricity consumption.
For example, 8 or 9 gigabytes from Mongolia, compared to today's installed capacity of 1500 megawatt or 1.5 gigabytes. They expressed an interest in importing 5 times as much electricity.
Since the commissioning of the Ulaanbaatar thermal power plant in 1987, it has not been able to create a major new source of energy. Energy demand increases by 6 to 8% annually. In connection with this, there is a need to create new reliable domestic resources. Mongolia spends about 400 billion Mongolian tuktuks a year to buy electricity from abroad. Therefore, in order to ensure energy security, the government has made the implementation of major energy projects part of the new recovery policy. A discussion on how to grow and take care of trees was held as part of the Billion Trees Planning movement. The discussion was attended by more than 100 public and private partnership guests and delegates. Here's a look at some of the students' designs on how to make urban landscapes look more attractive. Planting trees is very welcome, but there is no culture in our country to take care of planted trees from an aesthetic point of view. In recent years, however, there has been a demand for landscape architects specializing in this type of design.
In recent years, I think there has been a lack of government policy in this area. There is a lack of landscape architects in AMEX, localities and the capital city. The demand for these specialists is high because landscaping is very important for construction and a pleasant urban development, as well as for private housing and cottages.
The Billion Trees National Program provides for an increase in the number of green spaces per capita in the city. However, industry insiders say the government needs to support people and businesses who are planting trees. It takes many years of hard work to grow and cultivate a plant or tree, and planting is just the first step. Therefore, in the first 2 to 3 years of growing woody plants, it is necessary to nurture them like a baby. However, if a tree is grown properly and with the proper care, the tree can grow bigger.
Another key factor in attracting tourists is the high level of landscaping and maintenance of a city's green space. In the coming years, the amount of green space per person is estimated to be 6 to 8 trees. This number is 18 to 23 in developed countries.
Researchers from the Mongolian University of Life Science stressed the importance of special solutions for planting trees. Citizens and organizations need to plan before joining the Billion Tree National Movement. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Here comes the weather forecast for the world's major cities. This is it for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you next time with more news updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.